Okay, exercise 13 is about borders and shading. So I'm just going to make a new document first of all, and I will begin to just type the words. Okay, I suggest you just type the words first because it is much easier to do this all at once in the beginning than have to do it section by section. Okay, so I finished typing the text, and all the text is done in Arial. So highlight the words, find Arial, and you can center them. And the words reward are font 36. So let's find 36. I lost my cat is size 26. This line is size 22. And the last line is size 18. Okay, the exact sizes are not that important, but if you want it to look the same as the sample book, just go by the sizes I gave you. 36, 26, 22, and 18. Okay, now here's a very important step. Please add some spaces above, between, and after the words you typed. So make sure you've got some spaces in between. I'll tell you why it's important later, but trust me, if you don't add the spaces now, we'll have some problems later. Okay, so now that we're done with the words, highlight the word reward, go up to Format, Borders and Shading, and you'll see that this box appears. The first thing we want to do is we want to add a border. And the border style we want is a box. And we can leave the color at automatic, and we can leave the style at the one that's chosen, but we want to make the width of the line thicker, so click the down arrow and perhaps choose 3-point. Okay, leave this apply to paragraph. And shading, we want a very dark shade of gray, so click maybe 62.5% and apply to paragraph and click OK. And see what happened? The computer puts a border and it's shaded. The word reward is still highlighted, so that's why it's got an unusual light gray to it. But if you click outside, it appears like it should. Okay, it's only like that when you highlight it. Okay, you'll notice that also the box is bigger in your sample book. So just click in front of the R, press enter once, click after the word, after the D, press enter again, and you'll see that the box gets bigger. I forgot to add the exclamation mark, so I'll just do that now. Okay. Scroll down a bit, so highlight the words I lost my cat. Go again, Format, Borders and Shading. This time around, those words I lost my cat, there is no border, so just leave it selected at none. And shading, it's a light shade of gray, so I will click maybe 30% gray, apply to paragraph, click OK, and that's how we do that one. If you have seen a tabby by the name of Snookums, please call me. Highlight that, go up to Format, Borders and Shading, click Borders, select Box, maybe choose 2¼ point, and shading. There is no shading for those words, so just make sure it's no fill, click OK, and you've made a box. Now click in front of if, press enter once, click after me, press enter again, and that creates a space above and below those words. The final things you want to do is you want to add a special box around the phone number. So highlight the phone number, go to Format, Borders and Shading, go to Borders, select Shadow Box. Width, let's try 3-point again. Shading, there is no shading. Click OK, and we've got ourselves a shadow box. So if you look at the document, it looks pretty much like the one that's in your sample book. Look at your exercise 13 sample and it should be very close. Now, why did I ask you to put spaces in between the words earlier? Well, that's a very important, there is a very important reason for that. If I don't add any spaces, I cannot insert additional text in between the boxes. Let me show you. Right now, I could type in, oops, and if I wanted to, I could have added another line in between, and I could have added a box and shading, okay? But I'll reverse this and I'll show you. If you had forgotten to add lines between, your words would have been touching each other. And when these boxes are touching each other like they are now, there's no way you can insert a space to insert text. Okay, so had we forgotten to put spaces in between and later on you decide, oh, I want to add some more text. If you didn't put spaces in between to start with, you may have difficulty putting text afterwards. Okay, so I always like to leave a little bit of space above and in between, so that gives us the option of clicking in between or after and adding more text later on. But if you're sure that you won't need to put any more text later, I guess it's okay just to forget about that, but I always play it safe and add spaces just in case. Okay, we're done with this, so please save this as file 13 on your either your floppy disk or your USB drive, and we're finished.